Superhero Roundup live here on SourceFedNERD. I am Matt Lieberman. Joining me on the couch, Mr. Sam Basher.
We made it!
And Mr. DJ Wooldridge.
I'm back.
We did it.
It's always a pleasure to see you or have you here in the chat. If those of you listening on iTunes or SoundCloud, welcome, welcome, welcome. We do this show live every single Friday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So the best way to enjoy the show is to watch live on SourceFedNERD, and you can tweet at us using the hashtag SHRoundup and hit us up in the chat, and we'll be chatting with you throughout the day. For those of you who are uninitiated, uninformed, this is the show where we talk about all of the superhero TV shows on the air. We're talking about the finale of Supergirl. We're talking about The Flash's return. We're talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. big episode, and of course, Legends of Tomorrow.
Bam.
Yes, and we're also going to be talking about some of the biggest superhero movie and TV news from the week.
Everything you want and more.
Yes.
The things you cry out on Twitter at us about.
And just a quick little plug, if y'all are into Game of Thrones, obviously that show returns this Sunday. Many of you have been asking, are we going to be reviewing Game of Thrones this season? Yes, we will. Not on this show, because this is a superhero show, but on Monday, on SourceFedNERD, we will be reviewing the Game of Thrones premiere, and we will be reviewing every episode this season, every single Monday. So you should tweet at myself, DJ, and Maud,
Bam.
who will be reviewing the episodes, and let us know your thoughts Sunday nights so that we can share them on the show Monday morning. Super.
Cool.
Let's talk about some news, Sam.
There we go.
Bring out the news.
And I've got some Spider-Man Homecoming news. Threefer. We got a threefer.
Ooh.
First up, RDJ, Robert Downey Jr., for long.
Yeah.
He has signed on to join Spider-Man Homecoming, which is really cool. So you got a little Iron Man.
No one. It turns out Sony and Marvel want to make a lot of money.
What?
Yay!
Weird. Okay, it's gonna be but
It's gonna be cool.
It's going to be
it's
cool.
gonna be
I never thought I would see Iron Man in a Spider-Man movie.
And
Like Spider-Man in an Iron Man movie, I get. But like Iron Man in a Spider-Man movie, it's almost like, even though Spider-Man is technically the bigger property,
by far,
Iron Man is the bigger superhero.
Oh, yes. And if you get Iron Man, you're going to get somebody else. Like, if you give a mouse a cookie, you're going to get,
Hulk?
But I mean, I guess, I don't know if Cap fits what they're trying to do with the Spider-Man
I don't
movie.
know.
Okay, you get Iron Man, you get Ant-Man, and you get Spider-Man, so you have all the mans there.
All the
Sam, you've seen Captain America Civil War. Tell
Tell us your biggest spoiler.
Does Spider-Man switch sides by the end? Is he Cap?
Part of me, I know that they won't do it, but I'm just like, I would much rather them bring in like Daredevil or somebody.
We talked
and
about
not
this.
Tell us.
I would honestly like to see like Spider-Man comes out of Civil War where he's like, man, I need to be a better hero, and he just like hangs out for Iron Man for a minute, he hangs out with Cap for a minute, he hangs out with Daredevil, just tries to pick up like what kind of superhero do I want to be?
Superhero tips.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost like he's like pledging like to a fraternity or something.
Yeah,
like, which am I going to subscribe to?
I want a Linklater type Spider-Man movie where it's just kind of hanging out with different superheroes,
That
just doing his
amazing.
thing. He stops a bad guy, he talks with Daredevil, he hangs out with Black Panther. Like that's the movie
like
I
so
want.
Much fun. But of course, with that great news, we also get a bit of bad news, which is that Michael Keaton has dropped out of talks to be a potential villain.
Let's say it is.
I've heard.
Let's be the official source.
It was never official that he was on board, and it's not really official
he
that
was
he's
in
off.
talks.
It's just the rumors are that they can't work it out with the schedule, so they might be looking for someone else.
Okay, well that's better news.
Or
I don't know.
It's now going to be a surprise during the movie, and he shows up in the Batman costume. He flies up in the Batmobile from the 90s.
He flies up in the Bat.
He flies in right with it, and then they fight.
Do you guys remember?
You remember
in the
that
old
Michael Keaton Batman movie where his Batmobile went up the side of the building?
Yeah.
That was Val Kilmer.
Yeah, that was Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Do you remember, like, on the old Super Friends cartoon, sometimes they'd forget that Flash couldn't fly, and he would just be flying?
Really?
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, flying with Superman and Green Lantern, all like this.
Yeah, you know.
Great.
He could figure it out. If you gave him enough time,
He
he's a smart
vibrates
boy.
at enough of a frequency that he kind of floats. And, I don't know.
Yeah.
Speaking of...
Eric Kai writes, Tony hits on Aunt May, and Jack Long says, speak for yourself. Aunt May has always been hot. Really? Really?
I'm still not sure I'm on board for Marissa Tomei as Aunt May.
she's
I'm
pretty.
on board.
She's pretty.
Just saying.
It would be
seen The
cool
Wrestler?
to see. It would be cool to see Iron Man flirting with Aunt May.
Yes.
I would like Iron Man to marry Aunt May.
Yes.
Did
But wait,
Sam
he's going-
say it?
Spider-Man
He's
is
going-
his stepson.
He's going steady with Pepper Potts. Iron Man's going steady with Pepper Potts.
That's true. That's
They did.
true.
It's true.
So he's not going to be flirting with anyone, okay? Everyone keep it in your collective pants.
He doesn't flirt anymore, guys.
Yeah, he
You can't
got
tell
locked
Tumblr
down
that.
by a badass CEO lady.
You
Yeah.
can't tell Tumblr to keep it in their pants. They're going to write plenty of fan fiction about it. Don't you worry.
Fair enough. They write fan fiction about all things.
Yeah.
But also, last little piece of Spider-Man Homecoming news. Tony Revolori and Laura Harrier.
Yes, from The Young and the Restless.
There we go. Signed on as some sort of classmates. For
Who will they be? Who will they be? Who will they be?
Someone kept saying Flash Thompson like last week.
Which is crazy.
I don't. He just
Insane.
doesn't, Tony Revolori doesn't look like the bully type.
Right. Well, one of the other suggestions is that he's playing a character named Manuel, who's supposed to be Peter Parker's best friend.
Oh, okay.
There's a character that exists, and he's called Harry Osborn.
And that's
And
supposed to be
I don't
his
need them
best friend.
inventing supporting characters for Peter Parker. He's got plenty. He's got the best supporting cast in any
No,
comic ever.
but DJ. Then we're going to reveal at the end of the first movie that Manuel has actually been
secretly
Harry
Harry
Osborn
Osborn
this
the
whole
whole
time.
time.
They changed his name when he was adopted.
Yeah, when he was
he's
adopted
Harry
because his
Osborn.
father was crazy and
Yeah.
he was locked away in an asylum.
There you go.
You could make him Harry Osborn. You could make him Eddie Brock. You could make him. I don't just make him a part.
he's
but
mad.
The DJ's
DJ's
name's
mad.
Manuel.
Yeah.
His name's Manuel now.
What do you think about if? Oh man, I just had the best fan theory. Oh yeah, he's
What
Flash
is-
Thompson still, but he's a cyber bully.
Ooh.
So it's modern.
Screw you,
Don't-
Parker,
don't-
on Facebook.
Don't put that out in the universe. They will totally make that happen.
It will.
Yeah.
And I vote Marvel. You got to
Listen,
from
DJ,
me.
we got to take this property into the next millennium.
Who would you like to see them be?
Oh, I would like them to be good characters. I don't know. I've never.
What is it Laura Harrier?
Yeah.
Laura Harrier.
Laura Harrier. She's an attractive lady. She could
She's
be
an
a Gwen
attractive young
Stacy.
lady.
Yeah.
She could be a Gwen
I
Stacy.
would like a Gwen.
She could be a Mary Jane.
Yeah, look.
Is it weird that I'm more open to like
To the
like
love
for me
interest
for me
being-
Mary Jane is a redhead.
Yeah.
I'm okay if Gwen Stacy becomes something else, but like Mary Jane in my brain is like a redhead.
Right.
Okay. I like honestly, I've never been super protective of the look of a supporting character. Like maybe the superhero or maybe a villain.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, but it should look like blah blah. I've never really cared, and especially if they're deciding to be like, look, let's specifically not let's look for the best actors and
Yeah.
not give a crap what they look like.
Yeah.
If that's the game that they're playing and they're playing, like an Eddie Brock and a Mary Jane or a Gwen Stacy, I'm game.
Yeah.
Legitimately. I don't think anybody should have a problem with someone being a different race than their comic counterpart.
No.
Bam. That's some truth.
Mm-hmm.
Grow up, America.
What matters more is the characterization.
Yeah, if it's the best actor for the part, it's the best actor for the part.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is like Tony Revolori. I have trouble buying him as a bully
Yeah.
because that's all I've ever seen from him on screen is the exact opposite. But if he
Yeah.
can pull that off, more power to him.
Yeah.
The important thing to take away from this is that Krypton is getting the pilot over at Sci-Fi. That's the important thing, and
Do
that's
you guys care about that at all?
here's the premise. It's 100 years. I think it's 100 years before the death
100
of
to
Krypton.
200.
200 years. It's something like that. You got a couple centuries in between the death of Krypton. So you're not dealing. You might have some L's from the House of L.
Yeah.
And you might have the original Nightwing because in the comics, Superman actually gives Dick Grayson the name Nightwing when he becomes Nightwing.
From
Right.
the superheroes on Krypton, Nightwing, and Flamebird.
Yeah, there are a lot of
Which is-
superheroes on other
What?
planets. Yeah, Flamebird. You have Nightwing and Flamebird.
Flamebird was the new code name for the original Batgirl.
Flamebird?
Before Barbara Gordon.
That's cool.
Yeah, she went from Batgirl to Flamebird, just
Flamebird.
like Robin went to Nightwing.
Oh.
Wha-
Fun facts.
Okay. This project's been gestating for years. He's been trying to get it off the ground for years, and they hired a showrunner for the show if it should go to series. I'm blanking on who it is right now.
But this will be connected to like Man of Steel. This is like
Dumb. Don't care.
That Krypton.
Don't-
this Krypton.
care, don't
this
want
is the
it.
Krypton with all your little cow things mooing when he's born and
Right.
the dragon flies. Yeah,
Yeah.
all
All
those.
I ask from this show is that it gives us a reason for it to exist more than Gotham ever did.
Yeah.
And this is speaking as somebody who now has been enjoying Gotham
Yeah.
on a weekly basis.
Here's the benefit this show has over Gotham.
Please.
If anything, it's not tied to, like, it could do anything it wants.
That's true, but I
Other than
see
have
it-
the planet blow up.
But instead, I just can't help but shake the feeling it's going to be freaking like boring politics
Yeah.
and like romance subplots that go nowhere. And it's like, what is it building towards?
I got the pitch.
What?
So we know it's supposed to be a prequel. Actually, no, it's not. It's the day it blows up, and you're just on another part of the planet, and it blows up. And then, like, the pitch for the show is when they go to Sci-Fi, they're like, "Okay, the planet blows up in the first episode. Where do we go now?"
It's a bad pitch. That's not a good pitch at all.
Or
It's a
every
really
single
bad pitch.
episode is a different person on the last day of Krypton.
That is more interesting to me
22 episodes.
no, not 22 episodes. Well, it could be interesting if it's about the birth of Brainiac. If it's about the birth of Brainiac and the destruction of their society.
Then Brainiac's tied to this stupid show. The Brainiac of the movie universe is tied to this stupid show.
And then we can't have him in the movie.
Or if you have him in the movie, he's tied with his backstory. It's not going to be good. Is there any way the show's going to be good? The only way it's good is if it's Battlestar Galactica.
Which it could be.
It could be.
You could
Didn't they do Caprica before the
They
planet
did
was
it.
destroyed?
Yeah, they did that, and some people liked it.
Yeah.
Some people.
Yeah,
I mean, you could. There's a lot of fun things you could do. Like if with the Man of Steel, what they
Tell
established.
me what fun things could you do, Sam?
Planet
Tell us all the
exploration,
things.
planet explanation, and
Explanation.
yes.
No, could you do that on a sci-fi budget?
Yes.
We're not getting into those dragonfly dragon
Have you
things.
seen The Expanse?
That's what it
I
is,
have
right?
not
Yeah,
seen
The
The
Expanse
Expanse.
has a huge
But
budget.
it doesn't have any
Ascension another one?
aliens.
Ascension is another one
Yeah.
that's like that was a miniseries though. Like the budget was so prohibitively high that they only did 6 episodes.
But there's no aliens in The Expanse.
There's no aliens. No.
So
But
what's the
if-
fun of exploring an alien world if you're just going to get a bunch of people in glowy outfits just being like, I think if we keep doing this 200 years from now, our planet will blow up.
Matt Smith put Peggy Carter on Krypton. It'll be amazing.
I'm in then. Good job.
I'll watch it.
Good job.
That's
I would
the
watch
pitch.
it. Yeah. If
Awesome.
Haley Atwell stars, I'll watch Krypton.
And then for the last little piece, because this was a big piece of news, but we talked about it on SourceFedNERD. You can go clickety clack on the channel after the end of the podcast. But Willem Dafoe has been cast in Justice League as a good guy. So
How much you guys want to bet he's going to be just some boring general that does
He
not
is
somebody
gonna
from the
be-
comics or anything?
No, he'll be Agent Faraday.
remember when
Will they? I don't know if they'll do that.
Who's
And also, I
Watson?
don't know if I see him as Agent Faraday.
Really?
who's Watson on the Sherlock show? I'm blanking.
Oh,
Martin Freeman, but then
yeah,
he was
it's
like, he's in
he's
Civil
in
War.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
a random supporting character for Black
politician.
Panther.
Yeah. What if he's the Monitor? Okay, like let's just like aim high, go cool.
Metron.
Metron.
That'd be
Sure.
cool. He definitely has the face to fit any number of new gods.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody, editor,
what if he's Highfather?
Editor Brett suggested that he's Granny Goodness.
Oh, that'd be
Shut the
funny.
fuck up. That's an amazing idea.
He's so
I
good.
vote Ed Asner could still play Granny Goodness.
I also
Yeah.
agree with that. No, guys. What if he's Orion?
No, I don't want him as
He's a
Orion.
little-
You know
Oh,
who's
come on.
perfect as Orion? Tom Hardy.
Tatum.
Tom Hardy would be great
Oh.
for Orion.
Tom Hardy
so
would
would
be
the
the-
dude from Anthony Starr from Banshee would make
Banshee.
an incredible
One of those guys.
Orion.
Somebody that you can tell would go toe to toe with Superman.
Dizzy Chief, please Martian Manhunter. No, not working. I don't know what the rest of that comment was, but I mean,
Yeah.
he looks
He could-
like
he
if
could
they don't,
be-
depending on whatever like shape shifting face he ever goes with.
Yeah.
The older version is like kind of like a slender
Yeah.
white dude with like an angular face. So.
I would bet you money he's going to be Sam Lane.
boo.
What is that?
Boo.
Lois Lane's dad, General. He's
Oh,
a general.
Sam Lane. I
Sam
thought you
Lane.
said Sam Ling. I'm
No.
like, what is that?
What is that?
That
No.
sounds interesting.
I'll bet you money.
Creepy Superman villain.
I'll bet you he's Sam Lane. I'll bet you he's
Boo.
Lois Lane's dad.
What a waste. Yeah.
Chad Boaz would like to say, Matt, good haircut. Hashtag SH Roundup.
Thank
Yeah, there you go.
That's nice.
Support.
I
Some
like
support.
compliments.
I vote. What did I come up with? I said one in the video, and it was so stupid. It was so fucking stupid. Anyways, a lot of people saying Green Arrow. I would be dumb for DC's brand and like all the TV shows if you hired another Green Arrow.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it'd be dumb to hire Green Arrow. I think it'd be dumb to hire a 60-year-old to be your Green Lantern, even though you're dealing with
The
like
Green
Batman's
Arrow.
Green. What?
I said
Arrow.
Arrow. Green Arrow.
Yes.
Arrow.
You said Lantern.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoops.
thought you meant-
I
I thought you
I
I
think
meant
he
Green
also
Arrow.
agrees with that as a lantern,
Yeah.
too, as a rule.
Like if you want somebody older because your Batman's a little bit older, like do Brad Pitt.
What
He'd
if
be
he
a
was-
great
What if
Green
he's
Arrow?
all the Guardians on Oa?
What if? Oh, he does the faces.
Yeah, and he does like a Deep Roy in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory thing, and he just plays all of them. Like
Yeah.
that guy played all the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
What if
What
we got
about-
Deep Roy to be the Guardians?
Deep Roy would be incredible as the
He'd be
Guardian.
very good. What about Abin Sur?
I'm down for Abin
What
Sur
if he
too.
like crash lands at the end of the thing and he says,
I can't help. I mean, good for him for going against type or
Whatever.
whatever. I can't help feel he's kind of wasted as a good guy.
Willem Dafoe?
Yeah, he's so good. He was good in John Wick as a more positive character.
Right. I don't know. He's been good guys before.
I just don't want him to be just that general.
Maybe
like General
I know.
Swanwick
I don't
guy.
think that they're going to waste him like that.
Yeah.
I feel like they're smarter than that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm misguiding that belief.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was his stipulation of like, if I'm going to do another superhero movie, I don't want to be
Be
another
bad guy.
villain.
Yeah.
I don't want to compare it to Green Goblin.
I got him. I know it is.
Who is it?
The Wizard. They
What?
give Shazam and Black Adam their powers.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
That's about as enthusiastic
also
that
boring.
character is.
Side note though, because it'd be interesting if you suggested Jason Blood, which would actually be really
that's
interesting.
what that would be a
was.
sick
But if you
idea.
think about trying to lay the seeds for Justice League Dark, what if he's the Phantom Stranger?
He'd be cool. He's not as visually as fun. That's why I wanted.
What if he's Dead Man?
That'd be really cool.
He
That
wouldn't
would
be as fun.
damn cool.
I don't think he'd be. I would want.
There's no way in hell Dead Man is in the Justice League
I know.
movie.
Well, that's the thing is we have to limit it to. We know that their story is going to go dark side centric, so it's limit it to people that would be involved in that story.
Is there a chance that they'll save Darkseid for part 2?
No. Well, I mean, yeah.
It'll be Boat.
He shows up at the end of part 1 and fucks everybody's shit up.
Here's what I want.
Hard.
And then the
Here's
world
what
is
I want.
enslaved,
Yeah.
and then they have to free it. in
Here's
part
a suggestion.
And
Throwing
Superman
this
has
out
to
there,
kill
Warner
everybody.
Brothers, if you're listening.
Murderverse.
Darkseid, Justice League Part 1, they defeat Darkseid, and then for Part 2, they face the Legion of Doom or the Suicide Squad. If that movie blows up like it probably will.
Right.
I'm gonna vote.
The
this
government sends the
murder
Suicide
Superman will win. He wins handily. He very quickly.
No. Part 2 is gonna be God, listen, everybody. That video game Injustice is really popular.
Yeah.
So let's in part 1, after Superman returns from the dead, let's make him accidentally kill Lois Lane, and then we won't get any more complaints about Amy Adams, and then they all have to fight Superman,
Do they
and
get
everyone
complaints about
dies.
Amy Adams?
Some people do.
People do.
I was
No,
fine
the
with
only
her.
thing wrong with Amy Adams Lois Lane has nothing to do with Amy Adams. It has everything to do with the writing.
script.
Yeah.
Well, she's not a brunette.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's terrible.
Let's burn the building
She
down.
needs
Oh
black
no.
hair. The movie's canceled.
That's it for news.
All right, super. Let's talk about Supergirl.
No.
No?
We're saving that for last.
We're saving that for last?
Yeah, Shield
Because-
first. Because
Oh,
Supergirl.
Shield first.
Sorry,
Because
yeah.
it was the finale.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh,
and also,
okay.
our question of the day, if you want to tweet it at me, is what do you want for season 2 of Supergirl? Hashtag
Sam has a
SH
tweet.
Roundup. But right now we got Shield. I got some
But
questions.
Lamar suggests I really want to see him as Plastic Man. I want to see
Ding, ding.
anybody as Plastic Man
Yeah,
for the love
man.
of God, please.
Hell yeah.
There will not be plastic.
I know we won't, but can we have somebody as Plastic
At
Man?
the very least, we'll get Elongated Man, and we'll get the really sad identity crisis
will.
story. We'll get that, and be like,
Actually,
go
he'd be
ahead
a
and
really-
damn it.
I loved his
He'd
moment
be a
in-
really good elongated man too, actually.
Oh, Willem
be,
Dafoe?
yeah.
Willem Dafoe.
I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Although I
imagine
love
the
Jeremy
end.
Piven as elongated man in the animated series.
Who?
Jeremy Piven.
Oh, he was?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
cool.
right.
And Jason
He was.
Bateman was Hermes. Sorry, I was right.
Yeah.
And Tom Kenny was Plastic Man. They had a Plastic Man animated series that never went past the pilot, and he was the voice of Plastic Man, and he was the voice in Brave and the Bold.
What if he's Zeus? What if Willem Dafoe is Zeus?
That'd be cool.
What if he's Zeus?
Guys, what if he's Zeus?
Or the question.
The question.
Yeah.
Again, a little bit old.
I love the question.
The question would be great.
The question will not be in that
Or
movie.
if you want to go with a hero that's one of the older set that typically trains a lot of the other characters, Wildcat. Mm-hmm. I could definitely see I like seeing him as a mentor. Like he's really good as a mentor in John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool.
yeah.
True.
Like if he's the one that taught Batman how to be a badass.
Like an Alan Scott or like maybe a Jay Garrick.
I don't know if we'll get them.
Nah, that's stretch.
Yeah.
That's a stretch.
That's a stretch.
Yeah.
Speaking of stretching,
Yeah.
elongated man.
Let's talk
Elongated
about
man.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. With a really interesting and different kind of episode this week. I was a big fan of it. What'd you think, Sam?
A plus. First half with like the team up, you're like, okay, here it comes. And it's like it was fine overall.
it was
fine.
like over real fast.
yeah, I like Yo-Yo and I like Joey.
Yeah.
Joey's actually I like Yo-Yo a little bit more. I think
Yes.
she's
Yeah.
just far more interesting.
Especially
the way
this
they build
episode.
her up.
Joey's very sketchy this episode.
He's very.
Yeah.
He's being like weird. Like
a little
man, just,
fidgety, like,
calm down, man. Like
Take a breather.
He on drug.
I liked. I like the rapport between Joey and Yo-Yo a lot. I like it's progressive for
I like the
a show
rapport
on
between
ABC.
Yo-Yo and Mac.
I love them together. I want them together so badly. I haven't shipped two characters together in what feels like an age, and I love them together. Make them
What
together.
kind of age, Matt?
Oh
What kind of-
man,
Yeah.
a dog's age.
Dog's age. There you go.
But I think it got better once they returned to the base and Hive just dropped that little And I thought he meant Malik, and I was like, he got somebody. He got there in time, and that was so well crafted. I love the mystery.
Yeah, it was a fun little sci-fi chamber drama. It seems like this back half of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been experimenting with like classic genre TV tropes, and really effectively. I liked that it wasn't that somebody had been straight up turned, but I like the backstory of Hive. I really like what they're doing with Hive.
Yeah.
See, right? I think you were the most worried.
Concerned.
Yeah, but they've made him one now that he has the crazy of every person he's ever possessed and the way his powers affect people.
Because he can talk through them.
Yeah, I was
cool.
not a huge fan of Malik's God talk. It felt too much like shades of Lex Luthor and Batman v Superman, like a god, but he's not a god, he's a devil, but the god and the devil and all right, okay.
Yeah. I mean, he did kill a whole planet.
Yeah.
I mean, you might get God.
I did like
title.
it was all worth it for Coulson's line, like I've met gods, please. Like that's a good line. I feel like
I forgot for a second that he was in Thor. I forgot that he was in the movies. I was like, oh yeah.
Oh, and I also meant Loki killed him.
Oh yeah.
So
right.
These past few episodes have been solid, but they keep feeling like they're missing something. And when I was trying to put my finger on it, I think it's Bobby and Hunter. I think the dynamic is not. I'm not as interested in the dynamic without Bobby and Hunter.
They were a big selling point for you.
Yeah,
I like them too. Not that I don't miss them. It's just I was super sold on this show.
Some fun and some charisma and some and it's just without them in it. I feel like it misses some of the fun comic booky element. And the show could use more of that.
Yeah, they had just such a really well-defined dynamic, and they were both really compelling actors on screen. You definitely feel that vacuum, but I do appreciate the way that they're playing with genre conventions and that they're constantly keeping it fresh and surprising. Like, that's the thing that I liked most about this episode, was it wasn't the episode I expected. I thought the whole episode was going to be about the team trying to rescue the team. And when they cut that off before the first commercial break, I'm like, ooh, we're in for something different. And like just the sheer amount of different on display and people not trusting their own friends and the lasting consequences of the episode, like both physical from the base being destroyed to the relationships being severed between all of these people that we care about. That's what you want from a TV show, is you don't want every week to be the same thing. You want to have the events of one week affect everything that follows to its core.
What did you guys think about the death of Malik? I kind of like that it initially happened off screen.
Right.
And also brutal as hell.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because when I saw it, I'm like, that's not Hive.
No.
It's not Hive. And I'm like, it looks a little bit like Daisy. And it was rough.
It was real rough.
Every single cell exploded.
Yeah. Where did you guys, were you able to figure out who it was before the reveal?
No, I was surprised.
I thought it was Lincoln. I really
thought it was Lincoln.
Yeah, it made the most sense. That pitch that Coulson came up with, he's like, we didn't know where you were. And you were also bleeding, exposed to like a parasitic alien inhuman. So like, it makes the most sense that it would have been him. I thought
it was Daisy before she led them into the trap. Because I was like, why is Daisy talking about like they're all going to die? She should know better than this. This episode kept like flirting with like these characters behaving out of character, and then because they panicked really quickly. The Secret Warriors were like, "Oh, I don't trust anyone."
Yo-Yo and Joey have the biggest reasons to not trust them.
And then when Daisy was like, "Oh, we're all gonna die if we don't do this," but then she let him in the trap, I was like, "Okay, so Daisy's behaving like Daisy. That's cool." And then that was the point where we got, "Oh, it's Lincoln." Like, "Hey, it's probably Lincoln." Yeah. And then I realized like we have another like 10 minutes left, so maybe it's not Lincoln.
No, Hive referred to her as Sky. And I'm gonna need them to pick.
No. The reason why he refers to her as Sky is because Ward knows her as Sky.
And Ward has never known her as Daisy.
Oh, yeah. Ward loved her as Sky. Yeah. He only thinks of her as Sky, which says that Ward's personality is actively taking control where she's concerned, and that's very compelling.
Yeah. It's really interesting to see those two actors back together.
Yes. Especially now that he can mind control her into making out.
Ooh,
I don't need that. Please don't.
That's
do
like
that.
some Kilgrave stuff. Don't
okay,
do that.
Where do we go?
Star's
from
giving
here?
me a face that I do not like.
Where do we go from here? With like, I'm guessing within the next episode and a half, we're gonna find a cure.
Yeah, I
right.
don't
Like
know.
we have to
Oh!
because she took down the base.
Speaking of Cure, Fitz and Simmons had some little makey
Yeah,
out time,
baby.
but unfortunately they're cursed, so the whole base had
Right.
to collapse on them
Oh,
the second
too
it happens.
bad.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say we can blame them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that if they ever have sex, the world will blow.
Yeah,
Fuck.
Maslam Alton at Maslam Alton writes, "Are you guys glad that Fitz and Simmons have finally sealed
Yes,
the
thank
deal?"
God. Please,
We're-
just let them be a couple.
Yes,
No,
let
they're
them
cursed.
be together.
They're cursed.
Oh no,
Please
they're
let them be
cursed.
together. Oh my! It's
I like that you made fun of them for that.
Yeah. I love that. Like
Yeah.
that's the thing is like their relationship needs to continue to evolve in
Yeah.
order for them to stay fresh cuz like they were fun in the first season when they were ping-ponging off each other and they were like so close and we were pining for them to be together.
Yeah.
Second season wasn't as fun, but they had all this drama between the two of them that made their relationship interesting.
Yeah.
And in this third season at first we had like the severe complications of her being, gone and then coming back and being damaged and like him trying to make up for things and realizing maybe he shouldn't have her and now that he wants her like let's take it to that next place where they can be fun again, like her making fun of him about being cursed.
Yeah, and also the thing like there's something beautiful in front of me right now. This picture of space. I like this. It was fun. It was a cool scene.
Yeah.
All right, I got it. I know what happens in the finale. So
Okay.
I'm just
Boom.
thinking, this is what happens. They're gonna. So where is Lash right now?
In prison.
In
In prison.
In
Okay,
one of those
so
honeycomb prisons.
there you go. So we have our honeycomb prison, honey
Mm-hmm.
bunches of oats. You put they're gonna come up with a cure and they're gonna test it on Lash and send him after him, and it's not gonna work. And then you get Lash going crazy, being controlled by Hive.
Yeah, people have been saying Lash v Hive. I would like to see Lash v Hive.
Yeah.
And then Lash v Daisy.
Mm-hmm.
And then Lash v somebody. and
Because
he
Lash
blows
would
up.
consider Hive unworthy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I mean, no, because he's one of the top dog first batch. Hive is one of those. So I don't know if
Originals.
Lash would see him as unworthy.
That's interesting. Well, that's a good debate for them to have is can we weaponize Lash against Hive?
Yeah.
It's scary. I think that'll be a fun finale.
Yeah. That'll be really cool.
I give it a 9.
I would also give it a 9. It was a next level episode.
I would give it an 8.5, and I blame the missing Bobby and Hunter.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right.
They'll
What
come
would
back
you
at
give
some
us?
point.
Let
They
us
have
know.
to.
No, they're getting
What
their
would you
own
give it? Let us
series.
know in the comments, and we will read it to you. Okay. Let's talk about the next show on the docket, The Flash.
The Flash. Good Lord.
First half. First half wasn't bad. Okay, actually, I'm just now remembering it's a little rough all the way through. It's
Yeah.
a little.
I would say in the first 10 minutes, I
No, because
thoroughly
you know what happens in the
enjoyed.
first 10 minutes?
I
We get him warping to Supergirl's world and then warping out, and then no mention of it at all, which is only compounded by the fact that the whole thing that they're trying to figure out is what he just did in the first couple minutes of that episode.
little.
Yeah.
Going to another dimension, which he did on his own.
I guess that does kind of make it real dumb,
The
huh?
argument could be made, hey, I had no control of that. I didn't end up in Earth 2.
Right.
So I need you, Vibe, to do that for me. You know how I explained that to you in like 5 seconds? Maybe that. Maybe just that conversation real quick.
I think we can all agree this episode was disappointing.
Yes, and it was building up to be something real special.
Right.
It was aggressively disappointing.
Okay,
Yeah.
and besides, we'll get to time fragments in a second because that makes
Time
zero
remnants.
time remnants.
remnants.
Sorry. So I think we figured it out. How many characters are they shoving into Zoom that they're all wasting?
I think you suggested earlier in the week when we talked about it, 3.
Well, I think it was 4.
4.
Yeah, it was Jay.
Yeah.
Jay.
The rival, who is
Yeah.
Jay's
Jay's
reverse.
evil Jay, yeah.
Then you have Hunter Zolomon.
Yes.
And Johnny Quick.
Johnny
So
Quick,
you
who's
have-
Evil Flash, because now he has the inverse backstory.
He's got the inverse
Oh,
story.
so they basically not only have they ruined Jay Garrick because now Jay Garrick doesn't exist,
Well, here's the thing.
right?
The man in the Iron Mask has to be the real Jay Garrick. There's no way in hell that this is their
But
Jay Garrick.
Hunter Zolomon
I
grew
don't
up
know.
on Earth too.
Matt, I don't know. All right? I don't know how it works anymore. All I know is Mark Waid, of all people, actually freaked out on Twitter.
Really?
Mark Waid about like they've ruined Jay Garrick. I can't believe it. I've lost faith in the show. And either
That's a little rough.
Guggenheim or Cruz. If this was Jay Garrick, I'm done. Fuck this show.
It can't be.
It can't be. And it was either Kreisberg or Guggenheim was like, there's more to it.
Yeah.
Right.
So calm down.
Yeah.
But like
And
the
it's-
time fragment thing makes no
Well, real quick,
goddamn sense.
Before we go down this rabbit hole, I'll tell you the 2 things I did like in this episode.
Okay, tell us.
The visual of Vibe using his power was really cool.
Yes,
That was
really cool, really well done.
Once Vibe is cool. And the origin of Zoom when he's getting the electroshock therapy and the shockwave hits and everybody flies up and everything, that whole sequence was really interesting and cool too.
And I liked his childhood self experiencing that. It was rough to watch, but it seemed out of place. Still liked it. I still thought it was okay, this is interesting.
But
they didn't build enough with it.
Yeah.
Right. But upon further reflection, even though I enjoyed it as I watched it, it is so Looney Tunes crazy that his dad put the helmet that he was wearing to war on him, shoots his mother in front of him, and then he decides that the symbol of hope that he's going to give the world, which is that helmet for some reason. Also, if Hunter Zolomon is a serial killer who
How did you not know? How did you not know?
On Earth 2, where serial killers are very rare, so his exploits were well covered by the press. How did anyone not notice that this guy Jay Garrick, who looks just like him, isn't Hunter Zolomon?
Well, remember he had a lot of beard.
No, you don't remember. He had a helmet on. Did you not? He had a it disguises.
He got a haircut. Sorry, it's a completely different guy.
Hold on. So
if Harrison Wells not knowing that is idiotic.
If there is a Jay Garrick,
yes,
he
which there
has
has to
never
be.
been the Flash.
We don't know that unless he's maybe on Earth 3.
If Hunter Zolomon had the helmet that his dad gave him when he murdered his mom in front of him, he wore the helmet as the Flash.
Okay,
Jay never had a goddamn helmet ever.
Here's
I love this.
Here's what could happen. All right.
That
helmet comes from a war. All right, that was fought in this war. So Jay Garrick becomes the Flash with this helmet that he had when he fought in the war, his dad fought in the war, whatever. Hunter Zolomon has a completely different relationship with his helmet. So maybe he fetishizes the Flash, takes his place. Why do they look alike? Good question. I don't know. All right.
So what you're saying is...
I don't have an answer. Good Lord. The more I think about it, the worse I hate this episode.
So what you're saying is, DJ, if I may get you corrected, is even though Hunter Zolomon received the Speed Force via the particle accelerator,
which they do determine in this episode, but he's the one telling the story, so he could be a gosh darn liar.
He says that he invented the
Flash. Let's assume that he's not lying.
Right. That Jay Garrick also got speed powers.
Yes.
Was taken down by Zoom, who didn't take his speed because he doesn't know how.
Well, no. Shit.
Right? And is just holding on to him. I don't know, just cuz. And why do they look the same? It doesn't make sense. And then when we get into the time remnant,
hold on. What if Zoom is a Jay's time remnant that's gone crazy?
But he killed the time remnant.
No, but that's another time remnant. That time remnant created his own time remnant.
No, okay, before we go further, sorry. What the hell does that mean? Did he go to the future and get a future guy and bring him back, or did he take someone from the past?
Why did the time remnant not have the Speed Force inside of him?
And why?
But he...
Because he can't... No, because a time remnant doesn't make sense unless that person is also traveling through time.
Is basically a time remnant a Speed Force clone?
No, he basically, unless I'm deeply confused, which I probably am, he killed his younger self.
Yeah, or...
He went back in time
to
get himself.
Yes.
And then killed himself.
Yes.
So he should not exist anymore.
Unless he's the time...
Doesn't...
I got it. Okay, I know what a time remnant is.
Okay.
I know what it is. Okay,
a bullshit plot device?
No, yes, it is. But okay, this is what it is. You know when Barry ran back in time that first episode in the first season and the other one disappeared?
Yes.
You don't make that one disappear.
Here's my favorite comment. My favorite comment. Springer 1522. Chris, stop it. It's running off the screen.
We need to get the time remnant of that comment.
Yeah. Springer 1522. How do they not shoot Jay while they were waiting for Barry to drain his speed since they spent 2 episodes finding out how to drain speed?
Yeah.
Jay was just standing there.
He was hanging out.
Dumb.
No backup plan. Really no backup plan.
He was just chilling.
They didn't taint the Speed Force. They didn't put more of the
and
Trajectory 9 or whatever the fuck that formula was.
Where did they make, or how did they figure out how to make cardboard cutouts of his dead parents to pop out to distract him long enough to put a manacle onto one of his legs.
And he broke it off. Why didn't he?
Broke it off, and it literally, there's a sound effect that makes it sound like something sci-fi happened, but he literally just kind of like pushed it off. He just kind of fell
punches
off.
it off. Here's the thing: they took some. They how did they get the pictures of his family? I assume they photoshopped the faces on full body pictures of somebody else, but where do they get the pictures of his family?
Okay, hold on, really quick.
Also, hold on, wait a second.
Hunter Zolomon exists on this Earth. He exists on Earth 1 with his parents.
They bring up. There you go. They bring up the article of him as a serial killer from where? They have no connection to Earth 2.
From the Earth 2 supercomputer.
From the watch. From his watch.
From his watch.
Oh, okay, from the watch.
Okay, I gotta read some tweets.
Lord.
Crystal Neve says, I just want to give Cisco a big hug. I think they're getting very close to a legitimate crime-fighting vibe. We're very close to that.
I hope so.
Let's talk about the goods of this episode. Cisco.
A+. Iris finally discovered her feelings for Barry. Solid B.
Wally is now in Earth 2.
Yeah.
That's a that's a solid foundation for a relationship. Well, in the future I'm married to him, in the alternate dimension I'm married to him, so sure, fuck it, I'll give it a try. Great, awesome.
I mean, if it seems pretty solid. I don't know. It's like you got.
It's also weird that they were raised as siblings. I was thinking about this week. Would it have been better if Joe was Wally's dad and Iris was a cousin?
Yeah.
That Barry had a crush on.
And so like Wally and Barry were brothers?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That could be.
Wouldn't that make so much more sense?
I don't know.
That ship has sailed. It's too late. We're 2 seasons in.
Yeah,
but
then they figured that out maybe halfway through the first season. They're like, shit, it's so weird. All right.
I also kind of liked when he's like, you can't stop the darkness. And his eyes turned black and his voice
from
whatever.
Something
nope.
Yeah.
I guess the speed darkness is what he has.
Yep, the speed darkness.
And then a time wraith with the time remnant and the speed force of the time remnant wraith. And
Here, why don't you read some tweets, Sam?
Alex at 1DC Dame. Are we really doing another Kidnap Caitlin because I'm in love with her episode? The Grodd one was enough.
That's true. They did do that with Grodd.
Yeah, it's okay. But
Can
hey, she
Caitlin
did something.
Frost, please.
Yeah, no. I promise you, that's what Zoom is doing. Mm-hmm. I promise you, other Killer Frost is very dead.
What if Killer Frost is not dead? Because he fell in love with Caitlin from our Earth.
That would be so weird. I don't know, I guess.
No, but he didn't fall in love with Caitlin from Mars. The time wraith, or the time remnant did, which doesn't make any sense why you would kidnap her, because he has no feelings for her, because the time remnant had feelings, which, if we can explain the time remnant, maybe we can explain that. If it was his younger self, who he killed, which doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Matt, remember when we first introduced the concept of the time remnant and you were willing to defend it and like bring out a whiteboard?
I was willing to defend it to the end because that time remnant made sense.
Okay. And Size writes, what if Zoom is a time ghost?
Time ghost.
What if he's a time ghost? Why? Someone asked, why did his eyes turn black? I don't know. Why does the lightning run through Barry's eyes before he runs?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That must sting like hell if that does.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
What would you guys give this episode?
The more I talk about it, the less
I like it. Yeah.
Do you think we should just not give it a number?
No, I'll give it a. So what's our thing? So like, if I gave it a 6, that's anywhere in the D range, right?
I'll give it a D.
A 6 is a D minus, really.
A 6 is a D minus. 6.
I'll give it a 6.
I'll give it a 6.
I think a 6 is fair. It was well produced.
Is there anything they can do to save this?
Let us know in the chat.
In the chat, you think
could they not have just made Zoom fucking Eddie from Earth 2?
That's what I'm saying.
They got him for one episode. That's all you would have need to explain, that he's Eddie and he's lost any sense of himself. So now he's Zoom forever. So now it's just Tony Todd's voice on that stunt double's body forever.
I have the answer. It's in a tweet. Got him. Ready?
Okay.
You ready?
Let's
do it.
It's
from Tez Frazier. Maybe Hunter Zolomon and Jay are just twins, separated at birth. And then the man in the mask is the twin.
What if... Okay, here we go.
Why do they have different names?
Okay, here we go. Here's the one thing that might make it okay. This connects to a theory. When he showed Hunter Zolomon from Earth 2, which at that point we already knew it was getting too complicated. When he showed Hunter Zolomon, he was like... I was hoping that maybe they couldn't find the J of our Earth because the J of our Earth fought in World War II, tying him back into classic Flash of Earth 2.
Right.
What if that is the ancestor of Hunter Zolomon from whatever their World War II is, and he went back in time and got him and put him in the Iron Mask? So Jay Garrick exists on both Earths, fought in World War II on our Earth, fought in a past war on their Earth, and is the Flash of World War II. Maybe come on, throw me a line.
Yeah. No, I don't know, man.
Can we all at least agree that evil Teddy Sears is way better than boring Teddy Sears?
Yes.
Yeah,
He's
a lot
really
better.
great as evil.
Yeah, I don't know if he's great as evil. He's just a lot better.
Yes.
He's a lot more interesting and a lot better.
Yes, I would take a lot
People
more
are
of
getting
him.
frustrated how long we're talking about.
I'm sorry.
Right.
You didn't know I like The Flash? Get over it. Kevin Smith will save it. He will. 2 episodes, Jaden Dow.
Yeah, all right. Cool.
Okay.
Let's talk about Legends of Tomorrow, which also had a crazy time travel episode, but I feel like since the rules have just been thrown out the window on this show, I just kind of like quieted my mind down and I had fun this week.
It is a lot of fun, even though the rules don't make any sense.
Which rules were they breaking?
Well, here's the one. First off, the pilgrim cannot she has one shot to get you. Right?
Yeah.
And when she's done that, she's not going to hit you in another timeline. She's already messed up stuff enough. So why are we keeping around young Mick and young Sarah? Because clearly they're safe. She had her one shot and she missed it.
They didn't identify that.
How cool is it?
No, they didn't. No, they just keeping around. They could have just left them in their timeline because they stopped the pilgrim and everything's fine now.
Yeah, they have exactly. She has one moment to do it.
Yes.
And say if you kept him for 2 hours, you can put him back.
You put him back. Fine.
Good to go.
Cool.
Give him a little memory pill like they did for Quentin Lance with the hair.
It was such a bad wig, but it was so fun.
Yeah. It was beautiful.
Also, Sarah, Katie Lotz as young Sarah killed it. Did such a good job being a very different Sarah Lance.
Transformative performance.
She's so good. Did you guys know she's my favorite part of the show? Did you guys know that my
weird?
Did you guys know that my other favorite part of the show is Mick, and seeing the young versions of them interact was a lot of fun for me.
Yeah. Man, I thought he burned his whole family to the ground. Apparently not. Thank God. I was like,
well,
I can't
he did,
relate
but it was
to him
accidentally.
anymore.
It was accidental.
Yeah, but he didn't do it on
Listen,
purpose.
next time you slap him, open palm, and you're not her type.
Yeah.
It was my favorite part of the episode.
I liked when she's cowering and the pilgrim's about to get her and future Sarah comes
Kicks
in
out
and
so much ass.
Yeah, she kicks so much ass and she smiles at her younger self.
Yeah.
It's like, also, how do you not figure out that she looks
don't
like
know.
you?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What family?
She
We're
walks
family,
like
sort
you,
of.
talks like you. Yeah.
I liked the stealing baby Snart. How many babies did they save?
A baby Snart, baby Jax, and baby Martin. Damn, parents just give it to him. And I love that exchange between Stein and Ray. It's like, I can't believe my parents just handed me over to strangers. Like Ray's like, well, it was a simpler time. I should know. I lived there for 2 years.
Yeah, that's really, really good. The Pilgrim's rules don't make any sense, like how she's bulletproof, but she's not punch or stab proof.
No.
And
good
it turns
punch.
into ass.
Apparently.
They murder the fuck out of her.
They really murder her.
Yeah.
I
Like
think that she
hardcore.
deserved it.
Probably she was murdering their past self. I mean, it's a killer be killed situation. We're now off the reservation of normal superhero rules and more into general killer be killed rules.
Okay, yeah, that makes it fun. That's fun, really.
The best part of the episode.
But didn't Arrow deal with that for 2 years?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
For me, the best part of the episode was Jax's storyline. Where he got to finally meet his dad, who he never knew, and find out that he really loved him and cared for him. He had that great scene with Dr. Stein.
Yeah,
where
scenes
he
are
finally
always
breaks
great.
down. I know, but like I was really impressed with his performance. Like I did not know that he was able to like legitimately emote outside of just kind of like being tough guy or annoyed kid. Like he gave a legitimately solid performance this week, and for me it was the highlight of the episode.
I want more Jax.
I was kind of hoping that the Pilgrim, to prove her point, would have killed Jax's dad, especially since later we got like, listen, maybe Time wants you and your dad to be together. So Time is sentient or something. I don't like.
Time turns out to be young.
Guys,
Rip
that's
Hunter.
who Willem Dafoe is playing.
Time.
Also, I've never been more engaged by Rip Hunter than when he's a little boy knifing the hell out of the Pilgrim. Being like a little psycho kid, like, I like this Rip.
Yeah, he's
also,
fun, but
it gives adult Rip more of a solid characterization of like, now we know why he's kind of a humorless dick and like what he's running from and why he's always so guilty and sad all the time.
And then connecting to Mick, and I like Mick talking to his young self. I don't know, there's a big moment of like, listen kid, you murdered your whole family by accident, therefore it's all okay. I don't know if that logic tracks.
I don't know. I got a tweet from Garrett Edmonds. The Pilgrims should not be able to fire their powers back at them. It should be as if they never even tried to attack.
They reverse it. I don't know. That didn't bother. Of all the things that were weird about time-wise about this episode, that bothered me.
So when you rewind to like a VHS, it just goes further back, and you see them setting up the set.
You could explain. You rewound the power back at them, and then put them back at the normal time, so they're still stationary. Whatever. Who cares? That's of the problematic timey-wimey shit.
But the coolest part of that power, and it's awesome power, by the way, but the coolest part is when they're all frozen going into attack, especially Sarah coming with a baton. It's like, Sarah, you can
and
sit
then you
out
get that
on
nice
this
shot
one.
of all of them. That
In
tracking
that-
shot lasted maybe a little bit too long.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, we got it.
Yeah.
They're all there.
And they're also in that airplane hangar that's been used by the DC verse, I don't know, 12 times.
With Ray getting the injuries from 2014 and then affecting
All
him in the
Looper
future.
style.
Yeah.
Really cool.
That was neat. I
The
enjoyed
suit
that.
works.
Yeah.
That was
Suit
kind of
works.
fun. Oh, it works. When
Yeah.
yeah, I guess, did they give him a memory right pill too? Let's say they did. Sure.
Let's say they gave them to everybody because you kind of have
You
to.
kind of have
to.
to.
Did they take him?
Oh, the mom. Rip's mom. They did not take him. They even said he's in a hospital. Which again, why are they keeping young Mick and young Sarah around anyway?
Well, no, she's not his mom. She was just raising him.
But she's, for all intents and purposes,
Yeah,
his mom. He refers to her as a mom.
right.
She was cool.
She
I
was
liked
cool, too.
raising the young Time Masters. Although do the Time Masters know that she raises the young Time
No,
Masters?
because they can't find her.
Or
Or
something.
something.
But she was a cool character. I liked her.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that actress, too.
Yeah.
So wait, are all the young kids stuck with, are still on the ship?
No, they're with Rip's mom.
There we go. Sorry, just wanted to make
They
sure.
established that they're at Rip's mom, and they need to establish. And now they're
don't-
going to fight.
They're going to go fight Vandal Savage.
But we have 4 episodes left.
Right. I don't understand why they can't take all the people back right now.
Because the Omega thing is still on their whatever, and they don't know when. The reason they took the babies to begin with is not because she was going to kill them as babies, except for Jax. So they took them to prevent any. Whenever she was going to
Damage
strike
to
them
the
in the timeline,
timeline.
even though that risks making the timeline worse.
Right.
The rules are. If you could make the Doctor Who writers be like, "Wow, your rules are real loose,"
It'd be
then
really cool if
you're-
they get like a crack through time like they did in Doctor Who.
After
really
all
hoping-
this,
Right.
Since we're going for broke and going for Vandal Savage at the peak of his power, which you would think would be the climax, I'm hoping the very next episode they kill Savage or something, and the whole timeline starts imploding, and they need to figure out a way. I need consequences. Your rules are clearly out the window. I at least need consequences. I don't care if the setup for those consequences are also out of your ass. I just need them to exist.
Right.
Dope.
Because you've done so much shit.
So basically, they have enough time to go fight and kill Vandal Savage. They don't have enough time to stop at all the different points in history and drop off all the kids in time.
No, it's not. They can drop them off, but then the Omega Sanction, they'll just be
Got it.
killed later.
Okay.
But time is setting, so now they have a ticking clock.
A ticking
sort
clock,
of,
too.
a
Kill
side of
Vandal
time.
Savage so the
Here's what
Omega
they should
thing
have done.
lives.
They should have just gotten time remnants of all the people that she
There
could
we
have killed.
go. Perfect.
And
Give everybody a time
have
remnant.
time remnants of all the babies, and then have those time remnants live out their entire lives. But then if they're killed, then they can just put the real baby.
Who knows, man?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I give it a meh. 7.7. Not solid 7.
I give this. I actually really enjoyed the episode. I had a
Yeah.
lot of fun watching
I had
it.
a lot more fun than last week.
Yeah, and I had a lot
I
more
had
fun
more
than
fun,
The
yeah.
Flash. So I actually kind of want to give it an 8 just because I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Even
maybe
though
I'll
the
watch
rules
it
are
again.
really wonky.
I'm leaning towards an 8 too, because
Yeah.
even though, like, if you think about it for too long, it's not super well written or constructed,
Yeah.
because the concept is just very hard to explain.
Yeah.
And you need more than an hour to do it succinctly, but all the character moments were really great.
Really cool, really
Yeah.
fun. I don't know why Snart was so interested in Rip's backstory. Like, we don't know anything about you. Yeah, except that he was married and he lost his family and he was a time master, and we
It's the
actually
whole
know
reason
a lot
we're doing
about, we know a
everything.
lot about his past. I don't know why you're freaking out about it.
Doesn't ever feel like we do, because
Yeah,
it's all like
I guess so.
boilerplate stuff
He
that goes
loved
in the
being
opening
West.
montage.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep.
But overall, I really enjoyed the episode.
Yeah,
Awesome.
me too.
We got to hop into the big show.
Yeah.
The big finale this week.
Supergirl.
Ooh.
All of our watchers' favorite show.
This is actually my favorite episode of Supergirl, easily.
Easily.
My favorite episode.
It's up there with. I don't know. I don't know if
I
it's
don't
up there with my favorite episodes, but it was a solid episode.
What would be the other?
The White Martian episode,
Yes, I didn't
the
see
Flash
that one.
crossover episode,
Yep.
the Livewire, the first Livewire episode I actually really liked. when she loses her powers, when she the Red
Red
Kryptonite.
Kryptonite
is probably my favorite
probably
episode.
the best episode.
I really, the Red Kryptonite was actually a really good episode, but I think this beat it for me.
Yeah.
At least. Yeah.
It was really enjoyable. The only thing that didn't ring true the whole hour was that the power of hope killed Myriad.
Yeah, and I guess being forced to kill her sister didn't snap Alex out it, but her mom reminding her that her dad loved her is enough.
Right.
That was a little dumb.
A little wonky.
But once we got through that, and the pacing was a little like, this season has had a lot of little wonkiness, but there's so much potential that this is actually pretty much exactly how I felt about Flash season 1. Like, man, if they could really just shore up that wonkiness, like, it'd be a really great show.
Yeah.
And then Flash has, with this episode, tripled down on the wonkiness. I really enjoy the show. I liked her goodbyes to everybody.
Yes.
And at first I was like, why is she going to Catco? I was like, oh, because she's not thinking she's getting out of this. Like, that was really effective.
I loved all those scenes. Those were some of the best written. This episode had some of the best written scenes and character moments all season.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Minus Sam Lane. Not to nitpick.
Right.
You don't like Sam Lane. But even you have to admit that the mom.
Yeah.
The mom was really
she
good.
stepped
Like
up
when she was petitioning Alex to step down.
Yeah.
Like, that was some of the best she's brought.
Yeah, I liked Alex's live, die, repeat Edge of Tomorrow suit.
That was cool.
Wait,
Yeah.
has that shown up before?
No,
because it's really dope.
No,
I
it
want
actually
more
reminded
of
me
that.
a lot of like Metallo, like with the green elements
Yeah.
and everything.
What if someone gets like fucked up and it like melds to that person's body and they become like
That
Metallo?
sounds really cool. That sounds like a great way to make Lucy Lane more interesting.
There you go.
I am interested in seeing her and Hank. I've liked her a lot more as the head of the DEO.
Yeah.
And I'm interested in see because the impression I got is her and Hank are going to co-lead.
He's back in charge and she's not crazy about it. He didn't say, I want her on board. He said, we're going to do it together.
What did you guys think about Superman's boots?
I thought they
love
were
those.
very
So
red.
but he's got a black tread. Yeah.
Yeah,
So he.
And listen, Superman, it's just a
Yeah.
shot of the boots. They need to.
Oh my god! Oh my! It was more
Black
frustrating than
tread confirmed.
Yeah, you know, when he was flying towards us, he's like, Superman's here. Fucking finally. No, Lance. Like, okay, he has to be fine.
We'll
now.
talk about what they want for season 2, what we want for season 2. But one of the things they should just cast him, and I suggest they cast the biggest celebrity they can. So when fans are like, "Why isn't he around more?" Because they can't afford that guy to show up every
There you
episode.
go. We get Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
If you can get what's his name on Limitless, whatever the hell his name is.
Bradley Cooper.
If you can get Bradley Cooper,
That's because he's an executive producer on the show.
true.
Oh,
but
yeah.
come on, he's way bigger than.
But
Henry
we'll
Cavill.
talk about what we want for
Season 2 in a
season
second.
2. I also liked how this episode took elements from the few Superman movies we've gotten in the last decade and made them better.
Yeah.
Like Super Person versus Kryptonians. The idea of Myriad and mind control and taking over that, and that was a lot more compelling than we just need to punch the hell out of this ship. And then Superman or Supergirl in this case lifting something heavy to save the human race. That whole ship element was a lot more
Compelling than the
Visually,
Kryptonite
the
Island.
Kryptonite
Beautiful.
Island that doesn't. Yeah,
It was
and
beautiful.
I really like that. And Martian Manhunter versus Indigo and Supergirl versus Non was pretty cool.
She blinded Non, right? Non's not
I
dead.
guess I don't know. I don't know what
A blind Kryptonian sounds terrifying.
They're gonna have to figure out what happens to those Kryptonians that are in stasis in there and what happened to Non. They're
Right.
gonna have to establish that real quick.
I mean, it didn't. They're in space.
Also,
right?
yeah, I know, but also, couldn't they just send the ship back to the Phantom Zone? Is
Do
that
they
not
know
an
where it
option?
is?
They don't know how to get
yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Superman.
You know,
Superman does.
He's got a fully functioning Fortress of Solitude. He doesn't have like a little gun.
the Phantom
projector?
the
Projector.
Phantom Zone
The
projector.
gun.
Have
Yeah.
they ever in the comics? I don't think in any kind of like televised media they've shot something that big into the Phantom Zone. But I guess
Not
they
that
could.
I know, but they did originally. It ended up there somehow.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
no, it like flew into the Phantom Zone. Like that was like the Kryptonians had a larger like space portal into the Phantom Zone.
Michael David L says, "Yay, we finally got to see Superman's boots." And I do
Yeah.
want to point out we have never had a chance before to see the boots. Up
So-
close, so
Segueing into what we would like to see for season 2. What do you think is in the pod at the end of the episode?
If it's listen, as long as it's not her fucking mom,
Yeah.
I'll be great. Because I was just like, as soon as I saw the pod, I was like having a great time with this episode. I'm like, wow, this season is really ending strong. And then I saw that pod, and I was like, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the fucking mom, just so we can have Laura Benanti back on this goddamn show. And I'm just like, no. And then they stopped. and Sam actually posited what I think is a cooler idea.
The Superboy?
Yes.
I mean, in the New 52, everyone else is going to be like, Superboy's a clone of Lex Luthor, whatever. I know. Yeah, I got it. I heard it. All right. Yeah. But in the New 52, they changed Superboy's origin. Basically, there's this villain named Harvest, and he got all the info from Superman's little baby ship, so he knows all of history from Krypton. And in Krypton, they used to have clones as servants. And then the clones rose up, and the leader of the clones, who is a clone, was what Superboy was based on, his DNA. And that's why he's like kind of weird. I don't know why. But they might do that if they want to stick to the New 52 stuff.
That sounds real dumb to me personally.
But that's not my theory.
Here's what I
though.
want to suggest.
Yes.
Crypto or Streaky? Crypto the super dog or Streaky the super cat?
I believe Streaky definitely got thrown right out of the window after Crisis on Infinite Earths. I believe he was between all the Earths and got smushed.
Well, yeah, probably. No, but how awesome would that be?
I would love it if it's Streaky.
We could also suggest, since this season, since Streaky's not lame, Streaky's
What's
amazing.
the chimp one? What's the chimp?
Beppo the super chimp or Comet the super horse?
I hope it's a horse.
I hope. She's like, she rips open the pod.
So,
oh my God.
A horse. I hope a horse. I hope Jor-El shoved a horse. Kal-El's got to have a horse. Every little boy's got a horse on Krypton.
Okay. Yeah. Or
a time remnant of Supergirl.
Brainiac.
Sure.
Maybe.
Way more interesting.
Or she's dealt with all her mommy issues this episode. What if it's her dad as Cyborg Superman?
Oh.
But here's what I'd rather have. Here's what I'd want to see in season 2.
Okay.
I want to see Jeremiah as Cyborg Superman.
Yeah. Definitely.
Great on Project Cadmus. Also, it's an actual Superman, a cyborg Superman. That's
a cool idea.
How great would that be?
Yeah. And it's a far more compelling villain to have, your adoptive father, than just Non, who is crap.
Anon was crap right up until Myriad, and then became a little less crap. Not great, but a little less. Slightly more compelling.
I want to hear my theory. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, theory. It's Kara.
That's
Earth 2 Kara?
No, it's dumbass time travel bullshit with the Phantom Zone where she didn't age for years, and this is young Kara coming back down, and here she comes with Clark, and she's here with the little baby self. Ever seen Ben 10? Nobody? Okay, if you've seen Ben 10, that's what I'm talking about.
Somebody's suggesting Mon-El, who was Valor, but he's a Daxamite.
What is a Daxamite?
A Daxamite is like a sister planet to Krypton.
Is that like
they have
a
all the same
dolomite?
powers, but they're weak to lead, not kryptonite.
Okay, I know Daxamite, but they're powered by solar energy, right?
Yes.
Because they were in a recent Batman and Superman comic. They had one in there.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I honestly...
People didn't like my theory.
I honestly think Superboy is the way to go, but not like a traditional Superboy. Like, I'm talking about a Kryptonian she is not related to, so that you can throw that romantic monkey wrench in the works of her and James, where James starts to have doubts that she should be with a human. He's like, I can't have a real future with you. We can't have kids.
What if it's Jonathan? What if it's the kid that's supposed to be Zod's son that Superman adopts?
What?
And becomes his son in the comics pre-New 52, and I think he gets a son. A ship crashes in a Kryptonian boy, and he adopts and he names him not Jonathan, he names him Christopher, after Christopher Reeve. And it ends up being Zod and Ursa's son. Oh. But he raises him as a son. And I think that's the current son that's going to be part of the new Super Sons and everything, Christopher Kent.
But I think they had a kid, though. I think Lois, and because of convergence.
Okay.
Because of convergence, I think.
Well, then maybe that's a new version of what. But prior to all that, it was Christopher. So what if they age him up a little bit, and he's and then you have that.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, they missed their perfect opportunity by casting Melissa Benoist's actual husband. Because his chin, he has a very Superman chin. He played Cat Grant's son that she fell for.
Oh, yeah.
That chin, if you've seen Everybody Wants Some, it's like, that's a Superman chin.
Right up.
What if it's Candor? Someone wrote that in there.
It's in the bottle city of Candor.
Yeah, he's in there.
Being carried by the flying horse.
I want Streaky or Crypto.
No,
what if it's all of them?
Rumor time.
They fly out like a horde.
They were trying to get, oh my gosh, her name literally just left my brain. Wonder Woman. Classic Wonder Woman 77.
Linda Carter.
Linda Carter. They wanted to get Linda Carter this season, but their schedules couldn't line up. And offhand, one of the showrunners was like, next season. And the rumor is that she'd play the president.
Hey, Chris,
cool.
can you hold on
That's
that
really
right there?
damn cool.
Chris, can you hold right there?
Chris.
Yeah, there you go. Gina Kilo. I can't read your name.
Gina
Starfire.
But why would she be in a Kryptonian?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Okay, in Smallville, Martian Manhunter was a servant to, an assistant to Jor-El or something. I don't know why that is,
Okay.
but these shows have dumb things that they like to do.
Sometimes.
So
Sure.
Starfire shows up.
What would you like to see?
Why
list.
Starfire? I like Starfire. Why not?
I think Superboy is the most compelling from a story perspective.
I'm not talking about just the pod. I'm talking about in general. Season 2, what do you want?
All of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wish list, season 2.
All right, I'm done with the Superman teases. Legitimately, either quit it or cast him.
Yeah.
Have him go off world and something goes wrong and Kara wants to go save him, but they all make the very good point that Kara, with Superman no longer on Earth, the Earth needs you more than ever to protect it. Like, legitimately, let's just do away with it. Whatever's in that pod had better be someone or something that will complicate Kara's life, because she basically got everything she wanted at the end of this episode,
Yes.
which was very satisfying.
Other
now
than
it's
the pod, it would have been a great series finale.
100%.
Yeah.
And I feel like the pod thing is them saying we're doing a season 2.
Yeah.
Because it still hasn't been confirmed.
It hasn't been confirmed. They're probably waiting for upfronts, which are in May.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll
which
find out.
is when most shows are now. Like, I keep getting people like, "Oh, Supergirl's canceled." It's like, no, they just announced that their other shows were renewed earlier than usual.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. What do you think? Veronica writes at. I'm sorry, I can't see your name. I think it's Power Girl in the pod, like an Earth.
Earth 2, that'd be
alternate
really
Earth
cool too.
Something
that would
Power
complicate
Girl.
things too, because maybe Jimmy has a thing for her more than I don't know. But then, but how long are you gonna?
Save
It's like
money
an
on
episode
actresses.
plot.
I don't know if it's someone. Yeah, it shouldn't be someone from another universe. It has to be somebody who's going to be around and will actively complicate Kara's life.
Yeah.
And to me, that's either an aggressive, different love interest, sort of like a Gilmore Girls, like she got with Dean in the first season, and then Jess shows up in the second season.
Sure,
and completely fucks her shit up. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But like either something like that or a new antagonist. Please don't be her mom. Please,
Just
please,
don't be her mom.
Ooh.
please don't be her mom.
Fun theory. And then after this, keep sending your answers to what would you like to see in season 2 of Supergirl, because you guys are all guessing who's in the pod. But Niall Dillon writes, I want to see Miss Martian in Supergirl season 2. Carl,
That'd be really cool.
Kara needs more friends who aren't a love interest or her sister.
Fair enough, yeah.
I would like them to cast Superman, and like I said, just cast the biggest star you can get. I would like you talk about somebody in the pod that will complicate their lives. Crypto or Streaky having a super pet will complicate your life. I'd like to see now that
It would be like hijinks. It wouldn't be complicated.
What I would wish list. I would like to see Supergirl or Wonder Girl or Batgirl or Wonder Girl show up.
Bless you.
Bless you. I'd like to see Lex Luthor. I'd like them to, now that we've established Supergirl with her own rogues, her own independent world. I'd like to see some of Superman's big bad show up and see how much like, oh man, you thought Maxwell Lord was bad? Lex Luthor shows up for an episode and you're like, and cast Billy Zane because he'd be so fucking good.
He would be good.
If you've seen the
Good.
first episode of Mad Dogs, he'd be so good.
He's so good in the pilot.
In the pilot of Mad Dogs, and didn't you?
the Amazon
when
show.
you think about that, yeah. When you think about that, it's like that's fucking Lex Luthor. Like he'd murder it.
Yeah,
With
legitimately.
that voice, he'd be so good.
He has so much presence.
Like again, like if you showed up in a scene with Maxwell Lord, like Maxwell Lord's threat level with a
Yeah, and it seems like they're going that way too. Like,
he's
yeah, we
kind of a
can't-
frenemy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we can't quite trust him, but we're gonna keep
Oh,
going back.
God,
We
real
got the
quick,
weird reveal at the end with the ball thing that Sam Lane handed over
Yeah,
for some
then-
reason.
You mean the
whatever-
Omegahedron?
No,
Omegahedron.
Omegahedron was kind of fun, but it's better than what is it in Avatar? Like Unobtainium.
Unobtainium.
The Omegahedron was better. I legit almost cried when Kat got Kara's name right. I was like,
Right? I legitimately, I was choked up.
Yeah.
I was legitimately
It was
choked
sweet.
up.
fuck, because that's the best relationship in the show.
Oh, it was so good, and they nail it this episode.
And they committed to Win being a friend and her saying goodbye
Yes.
to Win. For all the
Yes.
wonkiness in the show, they got some things really right.
Okay, now you have to just take this and just build.
Run with the good stuff. Get rid of cut the fat, run with the good stuff.
Guys,
You
what
know-
if it's Abin Sur in the pod?
Yeah, somebody
crazy
said
would
that.
that be?
They would like that
He
a
made
Green
a pit
Lantern
stop on
hijacked like
Krypton.
The pot, you know what? He does die in a spaceship, and Green Lanterns don't need spaceships. So
Yeah.
maybe.
Maybe he like found one like
No.
floating around. He's like, okay, I'll
Sure.
get in there.
What if that's how I'm sorry, weird thought. What if that's how Abin Sur died in this universe with the explosion of Krypton? Like Krypton's in that same sector as Earth.
Yes.
And so he died trying to save Krypton last minute.
That's amazing.
and
and
that was
he-
in that spaceship.
He goes in the pod and kind of like freezes, and
Yeah.
so when he lands on Earth, it's like the last minutes that he has.
Yeah, and
to,
then we
like,
have Hal
die.
Jordan, and now Hal Jordan's the love interest.
yeah,
That'd be fun.
girl.
I'd sold. I'm
Or
sold.
any of them. Get any of the human Green Lanterns.
Personally, Kyle Rayner's my favorite. He was also the one in Superman the animated
Oh yeah,
series.
this is a very important point. Dizzy Chef says, "Why aren't we talking about Manhunter ripping Indigo in half?"
Sorry, the fight at the end was super solid.
Yeah.
I loved everything about
but
it.
she's been dismembered several times this season.
I know,
She's definitely
but
coming back.
He legitimately ripped
Ripped
her
her.
in
You know
half.
what
I
sold
vote
that is
more.
her blood-curdling scream.
Yeah,
Yes, I was
dude.
like, oh, it's real.
Oh,
Oh,
and then-
we're dealing with
and
it.
then the superhero team up moments where like one of them hit
hit up, and-
you hit him
yeah.
into the air, and then the other one smashed him from the sky. Like that was awesome. And then the heat vision duel.
Yeah.
Like man, Melissa Benoist knows how to sell heat vision better than I think anybody who's played a super
I've started to
person.
like that power a lot because
Right?
it's so like so much like
Yeah.
emotion
She
coming through
intense-
here.
She is and will be Supergirl, the definitive Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think she's the best depiction of she's closest to Superman that we've gotten for at least a decade.
Yeah.
This is
Legitimately.
the best adaptation of Superman that
Mm-hmm.
we've gotten. Better than Man of Steel, better than Superman Returns, better than Smallville.
Yeah. DJ, this week, so I did a 101 that's coming out next week, and it's all about the weirdest comic book movies that we never got.
Yeah.
And I read the script for Superman Flyby that J.J. Abrams wrote, and I read the beginning of the Batman versus Superman from 2004 that Andrew Kevin Walker wrote.
you please
And
send them to me?
The Superman in both of those movies, like the movies themselves are kind of loopy,
Yeah.
but the Superman in both those movies is perfect.
You know what else is weird? Every time it's really dumb when Supergirl like Skypes with Superman.
Right.
But that's Superman's voice. Like they capture it. Like that's
Yeah.
how I
He
imagine
wrote
Superman
a-
would interact with his cousin. Like I
That's
guess you're
true.
made of sterner stuff. It's like that's Superman.
She
Where's
wrote-
that Superman?
But she wrote OMG back to
Yeah.
Superman.
Well, she's Supergirl. She's allowed
She's
to.
Yeah,
Supergirl,
it's
she's
true.
allowed to, goddamn.
I love it. So like when she's doing her moments with like Hank and Alex, like my family, the people I love the most, and they're Superman's boots. He's your cousin. You don't give a shit about your cousin.
No, he's not
No.
invited.
Yeah.
No, he is not
busy
invited.
getting heat.
He did not wake up
man.
when I really needed him.
You know,
so,
so screw that guy.
Yeah.
I got one more
last
tweet.
tweet.
And then I'll do my pull list real quick.
Yeah, but I will say next season, just give me Superman. That's I
That's
don't, I
all
don't
he
think that's
needs.
even like a lot to ask.
That's all he
If
needs.
I'm going to be honest. And last tweet, Austin Craith writes, Supergirl's pod contains Laura Vandervoort's Supergirl. And with that, I had a little present for you guys. You guys are wondering what's Sam waving
What's
around?
Vince been saving waving around all
Yeah,
episode?
and I took it out.
Is
so
it
in
his
case
time
you
remnant?
It's a time remnant for sure. It's a little time capsule. It's an official poster from a later season of Smallville. The
Chloe
show that
Sullivan.
inspired all of this.
I love that they make room for Black Canary for some reason, even though she was in 2 episodes.
I believe that was a solid 3. 10 years.
Yeah.
She got 3. I mean, you
3
got
episodes.
Aquaman too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
you get like 4 or 5.
You guys, it was a nice $2 purchase on Amazon.
Nice.
Cool, that's it.
You know remember that lukewarm Aquaman from the Smallville series that ended up being in the Hunger Games series and playing Raphael in the new
Justin Hartley?
No, the Aquaman. in this.
Aquaman. Justin
Alan
Hartley was Green
Richardson?
Arrow.
Oh, Richardson.
Green Arrow.
Oh, right. Justin
stepped
Hartley
up.
was Aquaman in the pilot that never went
failed.
anywhere.
And then
Oh,
he became
yeah.
Green Arrow.
There you
That
go.
pilot was fun. I like that Aquaman pilot.
Didn't
I
they
do.
call him
Super
AC?
violent.
They did.
AC.
Yeah, Arthur Curry. They were going to they were making a Grayson show. The Smallville guys were making a Grayson
yeah,
show,
that's
and they were going to
true.
call him Dick Grayson DJ for some reason.
That'd be weird.
Yeah,
but you would
it'd
have
be
been
too
really
weird.
I would have
don't
been real
like that.
excited. Anyway, here we go. Pull list for next week. It's a big week next week. We've got Justice League number 49, the penultimate issue of the Dark Side War. We got Omega Man number 11, penultimate issue of that series. That's wrapping up. We got the last issue of this miniseries, this Four Eyes Hearts of Fire, issue number 4, and I'm a huge Four Eyes fan. Saga number 36. And then over in the Marvel world, there's Daredevil number 6 for if you like the Daredevil series. They're starting their new arc there. And also, if you're excited for the Doctor Strange movie, they're starting a new arc with Doctor Strange. It's starting, 2 issues are coming out next week. It's starting with Doctor Strange, The Last Days of Magic number 1.
Cool.
And then part 2 of that storyline's hitting with Doctor Strange number 7, also coming out next week.
Oh, cool.
So feel free to check that shit out.
Cool.
Awesome.
I was going to do that.
Yeah.
Well,
First of all, you guys should absolutely tune into this show every single Friday live.
Yes.
At 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and like it and tweet and share and tell your friends about this show because we love doing it. I want to once again plug Monday's Game of Thrones review, our very first review of the season. We will be doing it every single Monday, so be sure to tune in to youtube.com/SourceFedNERD for all that nerdy goodness.
Around, let's aim for around 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for posting time. Just
it's not gonna be live, but be sure to tweet at us. I don't know if there's a specific hashtag right now, but just tweet at us.
Just tweet us your thoughts.
Yeah, and we'll figure that out on the episode.
Yep.
Also, maybe go check out the Civil War spoiler-free review over on SourceFedNERD. We got a chance to see it early. We got a guest from Variant Comics. I believe he's in the chat.
One of us.
He
got to
was
see it
over there.
early.
Sorry,
fella.
I apologize. But yeah, go give it a look. Go give it a little look. Don't worry, spoiler-free.
Yeah, you
Don't
got
worry.
any plugs, Sam?
I gotta go to my personal channel. Just search Sam Basher on YouTube, and you'll find me pretty quick. But I have a show called Tub Talk. I read scary stories and tell stories, and it's a lot of fun. Also, I got 2 special things coming out next week that I'm pretty excited about. And this weekend's going to be a big shoot for it, and I'll have it posted next week, so I'm very excited.
Very, very cool.
You can find me at DJ Talks Trash on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube and probably Facebook too.
Bam.
Very, very nice. And you can find me on Twitter at Matt Lieberman. That's MattLieberman. Be sure to check that out and continue checking this stuff out. And Nuclear Family, as always, we posted a very funny sketch this week making fun of men's rights people.
It's a really funny sketch.
I
like
really
that sketch
like
a lot.
it. A lot of people are angry. Maybe you should check out and find out why. Wonderful. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next week.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.